Hey everybody, it's Dr. Nick Joyce again with the Learning to Let Go series. And today I want to talk about some lessons that I learned from the TEDx talk that I gave a few years back. I was thinking about this today because I was at a professional thing and someone introduced me to someone else. I said, "Oh yeah, and Nick here, he did a TED talk back in the day." And that really impressed this new person that I was meeting with. And this happens every once in a while. And sometimes I work with clients or other professionals who think to themselves and they say to me, "Oh, that's really impressive. I could never do anything like that." And they think that I must be this really impressive, cool person that they aren't to being able to have done something like that. And I tell them some of these lessons that I learned from that because what they do is they just see the TED Talk and they assume a lot of things about it. And the reality is, I gave that TED Talk, but the first time that I applied to give that talk, I was rejected. Never even made it to the first step. It was outright, they didn't want me. And it wasn't until the second time that I applied, when they selected me and wanted me to do it, that I was then able to do that. But no people, when they look at that TED Talk, think, "Oh, yeah, he only got that because he was persistent and kept trying even though he failed the first time." And for many of us, when we fail, when we don't do something the first time around, we just give up because we go, "Oh, that's it. They didn't like it. That means they'll never like it." We assume all these things. And there was a time in my life when I was younger that I operated that way, and I would have never applied again, and then I would have never given the talk. And I point this out to my clients, especially around graduation season. Whenever you listen to these viral graduation talks that usually go around, there's usually one common theme amongst all of it, which is here's this impressive, famous, rich person, top of their field, and they say something along the lines of, "Here are all the times that I failed, and it's because I failed and learned from those things that this is where I'm at today." And in a very small microcosm, that's what happened with my TED Talk. I failed the first time I wanted to give this thing. I submitted the same exact thing the second time around. And for whatever reason, it was a different panel or a different set of people or different criteria by which they judged it. Now all of a sudden they wanted it. Stuff out of my control. I just engaged in the process. Process versus outcome-based living. The other great thing that I learned from that TED Talk that I tell people, I talked about this in one of the trainings I gave on acceptance commitment therapy the other week, is that when I got on stage, I had prepared, I'd given a dress rehearsal run through, everything had gone fine previously. I was really nervous when I got on stage. There's nothing unusual about that. I typically get nervous when I do public speaking, but I've learned how to manage it using these skills. But when I got on stage for the first time ever, I got in front of this audience of about 300 people, and before I even said a word, my mind gave me this thought, just went through my head, zero control over it. "Nick, your fly might be down. The fly of my pants might be down." I don't know why it chose in that moment to give me that thought. Definitely made me anxious, freaked me out a little bit. And because I've improved my mindfulness skills over the year, I was able to go, diffuse. Okay, I'm having the thought that my fly may be down. I was able to look at this thought, decide if it's useful or not. And I had one of two options. I'm either going to check my fly in front of 300 people, or I'm just going to keep going. And so I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to hope it's up. I let go of that thought, and I got right back into my speech, and I gave my speech. If I wasn't mindful, that thought would have just ate at me, and it probably would have affected me, and it probably would affect my memory and what I was going to say, and I probably would have studied Stanford, maybe forgotten some stuff, seemed very awkward. All because of a thought that my mind gave me, trying to help me because it doesn't want me to be embarrassed having this thing being videotaped with my fly down the entire time. And I got off stage, and the first thing I did was check my fly, and luckily it was up the entire time. It happened because I was nervous. I went to the bathroom right before I gave it. And my mind decided, hey, you know what? Did you double, triple check your fly? Made me more anxious in the moment. The problem is not that my mind gave me that. I can't control if my mind gave me that thought. The problem is if I don't have the skills to manage it. And luckily, because I've practiced these skills, I've worked on it, I was able to manage it. So, persistence in failure got me to where I'm at. Managing my anxiety, not getting rid of it, allowed me to succeed even when my mind decided to make me feel anxious in that really big moment. If you struggle with these things, therapy might be something you're going to need to go through. It could really help. Check me out, www.drnickjoyce.com, and good luck.